Testing, testing, testing. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing.
5. Okay, thanks.
But so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad skies and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Trinity Christian Academy for more 2018-2019 South Florida Gold ABA action. Introducing first the visiting starters from the Steel City Yellow Jackets. At guard, number 1, 6'3", Tone Reddick. Also at guard, 6'2", number 2, Gilmore Fleming. Also at guard, number 5, 6 feet tall, Ajani Agbana. At forward, 6'6", number 7, Harold Brooks. And at forward, 6'9", number 32, Joaquin Yates. The Yellow Jackets are coached by Ace Pippins, assisted by Wayne Copeland, Lamar Steele, and Jason Pippins. And now, for your South Florida Gold. Number 11, 6'8", from Starkville, Mississippi, James Evans. Number 1, 5'10", from Decatur, Georgia, Kenny Holmes. 6'6", from Memphis, Tennessee, number 16, David Cummings. 6'8", from Jacksonville, Florida, number 15, Chuck McRoy. And number 0, 6'3", Fayetteville, North Carolina, Bruce Marnie. The goaler coached by J.R. Gamble.
And with that opening tip, we are off and running here, Lake Worth, Florida. Once again, Trinity Christian Academy, South Florida Gold AB action here live on YouTube. And I am Blake Chadwick calling all the action. And just like that, Gilmore Cummings out of the gate with a big triple. Coming back the other way, no good for Chris Cromartie. And here we go in transition. Joaquin Yates tries to get it to go. And the goal trying to pick it off. And there's a nice assist from number 1, Kenny Holmes, to number 11, James Evans with the throwdown. As it's quickly a three ball game off the 3D play for the South Florida Gold. Just a little over 30 seconds into this ball game. Deflected out of bounds, and it will stay right here. Once again, I'm Blake Chadwick on the call. Trinity Christian Academy. The South Florida Gold sitting at 3-0 thus far in the 2018-2019 season, looking to improve upon their third place finish last year in the playoffs down in Texas, and this ball's out of bounds, and it's a turnover going back the other way, South Florida Gold basketball. Tonight's starters for the Gold, number 11, James Evans, as well as number 15, Chuck McRoy on in the painted area on the perimeter. Number 0, Chris Cromartie, along with number 16, Taven Cummings, as well as number 1, Kenny Holmes. And that one's up and in. And James Evans, just like that, a quick 5, pacing the Gold with a 5-3 lead early on. The Steel City Yellow Jackets coming in here as one of the top teams in the Southeast, coached by Ace Pippins. And they're looking to make a huge impact here tonight in South Florida, as the calendar is set to turn from 2018 to 2019 and the regular season to really ramp up. Some fancy dribbling right there, dumped off by Ajana Agbana. And this ball's out of bounds, and here we go in transition. Chris Cromartie, he's got it. Tries to dump it off, knocked out of bounds, and it looks like it will stay right here. As this ball will be inbounded, Kenny Holmes sends it right in. The sharpshooter, number 16, Taven Cummings. The southpaw knocks it down. And that's the first triple of the game for the South Florida Gold. As we're approaching the 10-minute point of this first quarter. Dumps it down low to Jakeem Yates. Back out on the perimeter, Gerald Brooks, and he knocks down the two. Little inside-out game right there from the Yellow Jackets, and it's a 1-point ball game just a little over 2 minutes in. Pulls up for three and knocks it down. Kenny Holmes, the 5'10 guard from Decatur, Georgia, played collegiately at Southern Wesleyan. The 3D light is on, but it looks like we're going to have to inbound it again. Cromartie has the basketball, swings it around to Holmes. Back around, and McRoy goes up strong. He can't get it, but he's fouled. That's going to be on Gerald Brooks. There will be 3 shots due to the 3D light. That is the first team foul. Did he make it? And McRoy knocks them both down, and the third one is on the way. And Chuck McRoy, just like that, gets in the mix. It's a 7-point ball game. And it looks like we have an inbound here on the sideline. .9:26 to go in this first quarter. Yellow Jackets basketball. Jana Agbana in the corner there to number 2, Gilmore Cummings. Can't get it to go, but the ball will stay here. Nice offensive rebounding by the Yellow Jackets. And here's a steal. Cromartie going the other way. The Gold have numbers. Kenny Holmes, the lay-in. And Kenny Holmes has 5 quick points. And that's going to be a foul on Kenny Holmes. His first, team's first. So 9 minutes to go here in this first quarter. 9-point lead for the South Florida Gold. The Yellow Jackets do look chippy, and they certainly are athletic, and they do have depth. So this one could go the distance. As the Yellow Jackets swinging the ball around the perimeter, dump it down low. There's Jakeem Yates off the mark. Nice rebounded by Chris Cromartie, the 6'3 guard. Dumps it up ahead to Cummings, and he's sent packing by Jakeem Yates. Cromartie with the rebound. And looks like we have a shot clock malfunction, so we will have an inbound on the baseline. 18 on the shot clock, says the official. 8:38 on the game clock. Kenny Holmes, the inbound there to Chuck McRoy. McRoy right back to Taven Cummings. Cummings in the corner, swings it around. Cromartie way downtown. That's off the mark, rebounded up, knocked around. McRoy gets the offensive rebound up strong. He can't get it to go, and here we go the other way. Gilmore Cummings. The Yellow Jackets have numbers. Cummings in the corner for 3. That's off the mark, and McRoy's got the rebound. Here we go in transition. Taven Cummings crosses the timeline. He pulls it back, dumps it down low to James Evans. And the 6'8 start for Mississippi native goes up strong, and he will travel. And that's a turnover on the goal. This one is going back the other way. 8:08 on the game clock, 9-point lead for the South Florida Gold. Paced right now by James Evans and Kenny Holmes, each with 5. Swinging around the perimeter, man-to-man defensive flash right here by the Gold. Tries to get it out, stolen by McRoy. Cromartie finds a man in the corner. Kenny Holmes for 3. Off the mark, rebounded by Gilmore Cummings, the 6'2 guard. Gilmore Cummings corrals it. Here we go baseline. E.J. Blackwell's got it. Back around. Number 1, Tone Reddick off the mark. Nice outlet pass by James Evans. Chris Cromartie dribbles across the lane. Back out to McRoy for 3. And Chris Cromartie crashing the offensive glass yet again. Can't get it to go. And this ball will be stolen by Gerald Brooks right there. And here we go the other way. E.J. Blackwell dumps it off. And Jakeem Yates, the 6'9", 215-pound forward, puts it up and in. And the lead now will be cut to 7. 7:10 on the game clock. The dribble drive. Kenny Holmes goes right to the cup. That's off the mark. And Blackwell, he's got the defensive rebound. Tries to pass over the defense. That's a mistake. Rebounded by McRoy. The outlet pass to Kenny Holmes. Dumps it right off. And Taven Cummings with the lay-in. Cummings with a quick 5. As the goal now, 3 players with 5 points. In the early going, 4 players have scored thus far. As the Yellow Jackets set to make a substitution at the next dead ball. As we're approaching the halfway point of quarter number 1. Gerald Brooks has it on the perimeter, 6'6", 215 pounds. Slashes through the lane. Dumps it off right there to Yates. He can't get it to go. Back out in the hands of Cummings. Around to Reddick. And a shot clock violation. Excellent defense right there by the South Florida Gold, and a substitution right now. Number 13, Giovanni Ellis into the ball game. For number 13, Jakeem Yates, and it looks like with 6:23 to go, we will take a timeout on the floor. South Florida Gold City 9. We'll be back in just a second with more first quarter action here as you're watching ABA basketball on YouTube. We are back here at Trinity Christian Academy in Lake Worth, Florida, as South Florida Gold continue their home schedule here in the 2018-2019 regular season. Once again, looking to improve upon last year's third-place finish in the ABA playoffs down in Texas. And this year they want to head to St. Louis and walk away with championship gold. 6:18 on the game clock. Taven Cummings crosses the timeline in there with Chuck McRoy, James Evans, Kenny Holmes, and Chris Cromartie. The high-low. Tries the oop right there. Can't finish. Can Cummings. Here we go in transition. E.J. Blackwell. He pulls up. Can't get it to go. And it's rebounded by McRoy. And it looks like we have a foul. And that will be a foul on Gerald Brooks. That's his second. Team second very quickly. So the Yellow Jackets need to be careful as he's quickly in foul trouble as we approach the halfway point here of this first quarter. And Cromartie now tries to dump down low. Off the hands of James Evans. Nice defense there by Gerald Brooks. And the 6'4", 185-pound guard, E.J. Blackwell in the ball game. The reserve coming in as the 6th man. Nice job by Gerald Brooks, the fadeaway. He can't get it to go. The offensive rebound by Blackwell, that's off the mark. And another offensive rebound by Giovanni Ellis. And the 6'7" forward will finish. And the lead cut to 7 once again. 5:26 on the game clock. Kenny Holmes finds the man slashing through the lane. Corralled here by the Gold. It did look like they had possession, but they are granted the timeout. 5:20 on the game clock, and the Steel City Yellow Jackets putting up a hell of a fight here in the first 6.5 minutes. As we are back here, as you are watching South Florida Gold ABA action on YouTube. Our next broadcast, of course, coming to you 2 weeks from tonight, December 15th, right back here at Trinity Christian Academy. 18-11 Gold, 5:19 now on the game clock. Chuck McRoy tries to find a man down low. He's got Chris Cromartie. Looks at a man flashing through the lane for the first time. Dennis Rump in the ball game. And Taven Cummings, just like that, knocks down the Jay Cummings with 7 points now in this first quarter, pacing the Gold. As we hit the 5-minute mark, E.J. Blackwell tries to take it to the center of the floor. Nice defense by the South Florida Gold. Picked up right there. Finds a man down low. Cummings right back to Gerald Brooks. And the 6'6", 215-pound forward finishes. And the lead right back to 7. Dennis Rump dumps it off to Chris Cromartie. Back around to McRoy. Looking for the on-ball screen perhaps from Taven Cummings. Instead swings it back around to Chris Cromartie. Cromartie in the backcourt. Tries the dribble drive. He goes baseline. Cromartie goes up strong. Can't finish. And here comes the Steel City Yellow Jackets in transition. E.J. Blackwell finds Tone Reddick down low. And there's the dribble drive. That's off the mark for Giovanni Ellis. And the Gold now. They don't have numbers, but Kenny Holmes pulls up and knocks down the triple. And Kenny Holmes now with 8 points in his first quarter extends the lead back to double figures. And for the first time in this ball game, Claude Scott Jr., the 6'6", 165-pound forward, checks into the game, trying to give some length to this Steel City Yellow Jackets club. As the Yellow Jackets will inbound the ball on their baseline, 4:13 on the clock. As it will be Tone Reddick inbounding the basketball to E.J. Blackwell. Little man-to-man full court pressure flash by the Gold. Cromartie will pick up Gilmore Cummings at the top of the key. Swings it around to Reddick. Back around to Giovanni Ellis. Back to Reddick on the top of the key. Under 10 on the shot clock. There's Claude Scott Jr. has it. Finds a man, Giovanni Ellis on the baseline from about 10 feet. Can't get to go. Chuck McRoy tries the outlet pass. And that's intercepted by Tone Reddick. He goes up strong. Can't get it to go. And Chuck McRoy fighting for the basketball, but a foul is called. The 3D light is on. And that will be a foul on Claude Scott Jr. That's his first, team's third here in quarter number 1. 3:43 on the game clock. Chris Cromartie, Dennis Rump, Chuck McRoy, Taven Cummings. And now for the first time, number 14 into the ball game for the South Florida Gold, Chris Colvin. Goes up strong. Can't get it to go. As Colvin will get the deuce. The former Arizona State Sun Devil. A bit of a discrepancy here by the Steel City Yellow Jackets, but the lead nonetheless extended back to 10. 3:23 on the clock. The South Florida Gold 25, the Steel City Yellow Jackets 13. You are watching South Florida Gold ABA basketball right here on So first quarter action set to continue here in Lake Worth, Florida. The emotions riding high for the Steel City Yellow Jackets as they are still within 12 and putting up a fight. As the South Florida Gold tend to pull away as we enter the second quarter. We are still a little bit time away from that. There's a 3-ball attempt by Isaiah Prince, who checks in for the first time in this ball game. And Cummings goes up strong, and Taven Cummings with that deuce A big roar of approval from the bench of the Gold as the lead extended to 14, under 3 minutes on the clock. Ball knocked out of bounds. Chris Cromartie tries to save. And it will be last touch by the Yellow Jackets. A couple of incredible defensive efforts by the Gold, but just like that, it's intercepted. And Tone Reddick going coast to coast. Looking like Joe Hayden of the Steelers right there with that pick from the Steel City Yellow Jackets. And the lead now cut to 12. And the bench is riding high now. There's a 3-ball for Dennis Rumpf. That's off the mark. Tone Reddick with the rebound. And the Yellow Jackets will try to pick up the offensive pace and get some momentum on their side. Reddick, he's going to go right to the cup. Uncontested. And after a couple of great defensive possessions by the Gold, they let Tone Reddick go straight to the cup uncontested as he has 4, and the lead cut back to 10. Chuck McRoy gets bumped on the perimeter. And that will be Claude Scott Jr.'s second, team's 4th. So with 2:12 on the game clock, Cromartie will inbound the basketball. He's got Colvin, Rumpf, McRoy, and Cummings in the basketball game with him. McRoy, the turnaround jumpers, the shot clock's expiring, and doing his best Christian Laettner impression. Chuck McRoy knocks down the jumper. He's got 5, and the lead extended back to 13. In the corner for 3. And Isaiah Prince, the 6'1", 190-pound guard, coming into the game off the bench and quickly answering Chuck McRoy's 3-ball. But a nice job right there by Chris Cromartie with the deuce, as Cromartie for the first time gets into the scorer's column. The lead back to 12. And there's Scott Jr. He tries the 3. And McRoy there with the foul from behind. That's going to be his first and team's second. 1:25 on the game clock. The Gold's lead is 12. And Isaiah Prince will step to the charity stripe for 2. And the first one is good. Substitution here for the South Florida Gold. Kenny Holmes back into the ball game for Taven Cummings. As Prince has quickly chipped in 4 points here off the bench late in this first quarter. And you can make that 5. A nice job by Isaiah Prince. And the lead is back down to 10 as Chris Cromartie here, pressured by Prince on the perimeter. Kenny Holmes there in the corner. Shot fake, tries the dribble drive. He's cut off. Nice defense there by E.J. Blackwell. McRoy's got it. Back out to Colvin for 3. And it's going to be 2 as his foot is on the line. Chris Colvin now has 4. The lead extended back to 12 as we are under a minute to play here in quarter 1. Isaiah Prince pulls the ball back out. Man-to-man defense here applied by the South Florida Gold. Prince gets bumped by Rumpf. The whistle is not blown. In the corner, Blackwell can't get it. Ball tipped around. McRoy the outlet pass. Kenny Holmes, and he will be fouled by Claude Scott Jr. And just like that, the reserve forward has 3 fouls in the first quarter. That makes 5 for the team. 40.5 seconds to go. As James Evans will come into the ball game for Chuck McRoy.
All right, here we go. 5-2. 5-2.
2 down here. Back up, Giants. Go back.
As we've got an inbounds right now, Cromartie finds a man in Dennis Rumpf, and he's rejected. Nice defensive effort by Giovanni Ellis. 15 on the shot clock, 37 on the game clock. As the Gold enjoying a 12-point lead, but again, the Yellow Jackets will not quit as they keep nipping at their heels here, trying to cut into this lead. Cromartie, the inbound there to James Evans, back to Cromartie. Chris Cromartie finds Evans underneath. And it looks like we've got a foul on Claude Scott Jr. as he appears to be injured. As Claude Scott Jr. here appears to have suffered a potential serious injury. That's going to be his 4th foul and team 6th. And with 31.5 seconds to go here in the first quarter, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching South Florida Gold basketball here on YouTube.
Set two. We had a foul.
Rolling. We rolling. We rolling. And we are back here at Trinity Christian Academy. Apologize for the delay. Claude Scott Jr. getting some medical attention right now after he just had a pretty horrific injury there to his elbow. As we are 15 seconds to go here in this first quarter. 13 on the game clock now. 12-point lead. And that shot is off the mark by Gerald Brooks. And here we go in transition for three. And that's off the mark for Kenny Holmes. Rebounded by Isaiah Prince, and after 1 quarter of play, South Florida Gold 34, Steel City Yellow Jackets 22. The Yellow Jackets certainly will be emotionally charged for the rest of this ball game. We will see how things transpire. We're going to take a very quick break as you are watching ABA basketball on this Saturday night, right here on the South Florida Gold YouTube channel. That was the end of one. As we are underway here, the second quarter of action, Trinity Christian Academy, South Florida Gold. As you're watching live on YouTube, 34-22 lead over the Steel City Yellow Jackets. Rebound by Isaiah Prince. Here we go in transition. Prince with 5 points off the bench. Dumps it down as Matt McKenna into the ball game for the first time. And the ball goes to the backcourt. And it's out of bounds, and it will go back to the Gold. The inbound there to Kenny Holmes. He locks and loads for three. That's way off the mark. Giovanni Ellis gets the rebound. And the ball ends up going out of bounds into the hands of Kenny Holmes. Dumps it off. James Evans with the throwdown. And James Evans with 7 points tonight. And a big start for the 6'8 native out of Starkville, Mississippi. And there's the lay-in. Nicely done by Prince. As Colvin now tries the dribble drive baseline, the up and under. And Chris Colvin, the energetic guard off the bench, the former Arizona State Sun Devil. As we've got 10:50 to play here in the second quarter. And Tone Reddick now dumps it around. Nice look right there. As Reddick will finish off the give and go from Gerald Brooks. Kenny Holmes, James Evans, Taven Cummings. James Evans and Chris Colvin are the 5 for the Gold. Ball out of bounds, and it will stay right here. 12 on the shot clock for the South Florida Gold. And the inbound here with 10:26 on the game clock. Like I said, 12 on the shot clock. There's the inbound. James Evans goes up strong. And once again, James Evans with the bucket as he has 9. Joining Taven Cummings for the team lead. There's Prince. He tries the dribble drive, kicks it back out to Brooks. Finds a man at the free throw line in Giovanni Ellis. He can't get it to go. The rebound by James Evans. And a nice defensive effort right there by Tone Reddick. And the South Florida Gold will call timeout. The Yellow Jackets arguing that he didn't have possession. And they will grant the goal at a timeout. Controversial call right here, but with 9:57 to go in the second quarter, the Gold up 41-26. But again, the Steel City Yellow Jackets not backing down from the challenge. And here's the inbound pass, Taven Cummings to James Evans, right back to Chris Colvin in there also with Dennis Rumpf, and Taven Cummings there in the corner. That's off the mark, and the rebound by Matt McKenna, the reserve forward. Number 31 crosses the timeline. The crossover dribble, McKenna goes up strong. Can't get it to go, tipped around in the hands of Dennis Rumpf. And now corralled by Giovanni Ellis. The 3D light is on. And the block right there by Rumpf as Gerald Brooks can't get it to go. And with 9:25 on the game clock, there's a foul. And that will be a foul on Dennis Rumpf, his first, team's first in this second quarter. And now, stepping to the line for 3 is Gerald Brooks. And excuse me, there's a bit of a change there. There won't be shots as the ball will be inbounded. The 3D light is on. And a 4-point play for Isaiah Prince. Prince cuts the lead to 11. A lot of energy off the bench for Isaiah Prince. 11 points. And McKenna with the steal. Here we go the other way. And Tone Reddick tries to save. That's stolen by Kenny Holmes. The 3D light is on. Kenny Holmes, the floater. And Holmes gets the 3-pointer. And Kenny Holmes now becomes the first South Florida Gold player to move into double figures as he has 11. Balanced attack tonight for J.R. Gamble squad. Tone Reddick now dumps it down low, looks for Brooks. And the ball is out of bounds. And Chris Cromartie. As Chris Colvin now crosses the timeline, it seems like there's a 3D discrepancy here from the prior possession. Rumpf found down low by Evans. And Dennis Rumpf, his first bucket of the game. He's in the scorer's column. The lead extended to 16. There's the floater. That one goes over the backboard. As Cummings in the corner. That's off the mark. He gets his own rebound. Taven Cummings goes up strong. Can't get it to go. And James Evans with the score. As the lead now 18 for the Gold. 7:50 on the game clock. Matt McKenna. As we have a substitution now as the clock has been stopped. Mass substitution for both teams. Gilmore Cummings and Jakeem Yates check into the ball game for Matt McKenna and Giovanni Ellis from the Steel City Yellow Jackets. There's the inbound there to Isaiah Prince. He's pressured by Kenny Holmes. Nice help side defense by Chuck McCroy. He tries to dribble through the lane, and the ball's knocked out of bounds. And that's off the South Florida Gold. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 7:41 on the game clock. And now it looks like they're resetting the shot clock to 8 seconds. The inbound attempt here by Isaiah Prince. And that's a beautiful look as he finds Gerald Brooks, who now has 6 points. And the lead now cut to 16 once again. Under 7.5 minutes here in the second quarter. Taven Cummings, the dribble drive, the hook, can't get it. Ball's tipped around, continues being moved around the rim. And Gerald Brooks again corrals it. Nice job by the 6'6", 215-pound forward. Taven Cummings tries to find a man in the corner, and Isaiah Prince can't corral it. So it looks like we've got a clock issue once again. Trying to work out these kinks here. And with 7:09 on the game clock, we will take a timeout on the floor. South Florida Gold 48, Steel City Yellow Jackets 32. Saturday night ABA action right here on YouTube.
I'm going to watch the film at halftime and then we'll go back and get it. Over here. So the last one was Dennis. It was not Kenny. Over here was Dennis Ross. Kenny, no, there was an action where there should have been a 3D and it was not. The 3D was a 3D and then it was a 3D twice. And for years. Dennis scored down here. And he said it was not. Number 4 scored a 2 down here. That's from number 4. Yes, he is in there.
As we are back in action here at Trinity Christian Academy, 7 minutes to go in this first half. And the 3 ball. No doubt about that one by Kenny Holmes. As he has 13. Dumped off right there to Jakeem Yates. Finds a man in Cummings. There in the corner is Prince. Off the mark, and Chris Cromartie has the rebound. Look for the outlet pass, pulled it back. And now tries to find James Evans down low. Evans goes up strong. And he will be fouled. And that's going to be on Jakeem Yates, his first. Team's first. After 6 fouls committed in this first quarter, only 1 throughout the nearly first half of the second quarter for the Steel City Yellow Jackets. As James Evans will step to the line for 2. As Evans off the mark on the second, as the lead is 20. Swings it around to Blackwell. To Reddick. Brooks down low. Nice job on the defensive end by the Gold. The outlet pass, and Kenny Holmes with a finger roll, and he gets it to go as he is pacing the offensive attack tonight for the Gold. The dribble drive attempt by Cummings. He falls down. They don't call a foul on Cummings, on Taven Cummings, as Cummings guarding Cummings right there. There's a three in the corner by Gilmore Cummings. He can't get it to go. This one for three by Tone Reddick off the mark. James Evans the rebound into the hands of Chris Cromartie. He crossed the timeline as we cross the halfway point. And there's a foul on Gilmore Cummings, his first, team second. And Dennis Rump checks in the game for James Evans. And it's South Florida Gold basketball here on the sideline. Kenny Holmes, back around to Chris Cromartie. He's got Dennis Rump, Chuck McRoy, and Taven Cummings in the ball game. I like this 5 here for the Gold. Cromartie's able to finish. Chuck McRoy protecting himself there. Certainly was not trying to gloat in any way, shape, or form. .538 on the game clock. As there's a three ball off the mark, and that's rebounded by Taven Cummings. Chris Cromartie has it. Cromartie pulls up from the wing, and that three ball can't fall as the rebound by E.J. Blackwell. As full court pressure applied here by the South Florida Gold. There's a three. Giovanni Ellis is off the mark, and that's a rebound by Chuck McRoy. Looks for the outlet pass. Doesn't like the look to Kenny Holmes, but here's Dennis Rump's got it. Rump in the painted area. Goes up strong, and he will be fouled. And that will be a foul on Gerald Brooks, his third, team third. As we have 5 minutes to play in this second quarter. And Dennis Rump, 6'7" West Palm Beach, Florida native, out of Lander University, steps to the line for two. And Rump off the mark. And Rumpf knocks down the second. Rumpf now at 3 points in this game. There's a steal by Taven Cummings, and they call back court.
Sir, he never had possession of the ball. He tipped it. He tipped it.
And Ajani Agbana takes a spill, but he will be okay. So with 4:53 to go here, it is Yellow Jackets ball. 25 seconds on the, or actually 25-point lead. 18 seconds now on the game clock, or excuse me, the shot clock. As Tone Reddick off the mark, and the rebound into the hands of Chuck McRoy, and here comes the Gold. McRoy crosses the timeline, looks for Rump down low, and here's the steal by Gilmore Cummings. Tone Reddick goes up strong, and he will be bumped. And that's going to be on Chris Cromartie. That will be his first, team second. And Tone Reddick here is going to knock down the first, as Reddick now has 7 points on tonight's game. And that one is off the mark. Chuck McRoy gets the defensive rebound. Finds Dennis Rump. Right there to Kenny Holmes. Tries to go back to Rump, and it's stolen by Tone Reddick. Reddick crosses the timeline to Cummings. There to Agbana. And Ajani Agbana knocks it down. And the starting guard's been relatively quiet. He gets to the scores column. And that's a foul on Tone Reddick. That's his first, team's fourth. As Taven Cummings will step to the line. Cummings, 9 points tonight. The Memphis, Tennessee native out of Miles College. And it looks like we're going to have an inbound on the baseline instead, as Cromartie directing traffic. Back around to Holmes. Finds McRoy on the block. Chuck McRoy with the drop step. The fadeaway off the glass. And a three-point play as Chuck McRoy as that'll be the 4th on Gerald Brooks, team's 5th, as he's now in foul trouble. McRoy off the mark, rebounded by Gerald Brooks, so he does redeem himself in a sense. Grayson Cummings, or Gilmore Cummings rather, goes up strong. And the ball goes out of bounds, and with 3:50 on the clock, we will take a timeout on the floor. South Florida Gold 59, Steel City Yellow Jackets 36. This is our final timeout of half number 1, as you were watching South Florida Gold basketball right here on YouTube. So 3:50 on the game clock here in half number 1. The inbound for the Yellow Jackets. Yates has it, kicks it out, off the mark, into the hands of Kenny Holmes, who has been the first half MVP for the South Florida Gold, pacing this club right now with 15 points. And McRoy goes for the ball. That's tipped by Giovanni Ellis, so it won't be backcourt. McRoy's got a fire for 3, and that's off the mark, out of bounds, and here we go the other way. Gilmore Cummings crosses the timeline, tries to find Yates down low, dumped around to Blackwell, off the hands of Ogbonna, and it's Gold basketball. Holmes hands it off there to McRoy. The shot fake, back out to Rumpf. On the perimeter, Cromartie in the corner. Finds Cummings. Finds McRoy. The dribble drive. McRoy with the left hand. Nicely done by Chuck McRoy, as he now has 9. The alley-oop there. The give and go. Nice ball movement here by the Yellow Jackets. Finds a man. Ogbonna. And a foul there on Jakeem Yates. That's going to be his 2nd, team 6th. The 231, Chuck McRoy looks like he got hit in the eye, so he's going to take a breather as James Evans comes back in. Dennis Rumpf, Taven Cummings, Kenny Holmes, and Chris Cromartie, the 5 for the Gold. Cromartie tries to weave through the defense. Look at Cromartie doing it all by himself. And then dump off to Evans. He gets sent packing, but Rumpf with the offensive rebound finishes. Rumpf now has 5 off the bench for the Gold. Nice job, despite the defensive effort by the Yellow Jackets. As the lead now 27, but this game feels a lot closer than 27. Gilmore Cummings dumps it off right there. And the foul is called And it will be a foul on the Gold. That will be their third as a team. And the first one is good for Giovanni Ellis. He now has 3 points on tonight's game. Make that 4 for the 6'7" reserve forward. Under 2 minutes to go now. 25 seconds. Kenny Holmes to James Evans. Nearly loses control. Finds rope in the corner from way downtown. Off the mark, tipped around. Back out. Cromartie's got it. Chris Cromartie, the dribble drive, tries the crossover. Finds Rump streaking. And nice defense there by the Yellow Jackets. Right back to Tone Reddick, and Reddick with the throwdown. And Tone Reddick now 9 points in this first half. Cromartie pulls it back out, tries to weave through traffic, uses the right hand. And the up and under with the finger roll for Chris Cromartie. He now has 6 answers on the other end. The lead extended back to 25. 75 seconds to go here in this first half. And Tone Reddick will be bumped out of bounds there by Chris Cromartie. Cromartie picks up another foul. That's 4 on the team. The pass in to Agbana. He's pressured by Kenny Holmes. He finds Cummings in the corner for 3. And Gilmore Cummings, 6 points now in this ball game as we're under a minute to go in this first half. A wild first half here in Lake Worth. As Cromartie now, the dribble drive, beautiful look to James Evans. Evans goes up strong, and they call the offensive foul on James Evans. That's going to be his first, team's 5th. 43.6 to go. 24-point lead for the Gold as the Yellow Jackets try to cut into it before this half is up. On ball screen, nice look by Agbana. He finds Yates. And that's going to be Agbana's first. That's 7 on the team. I do believe now we're in the bonus. Offensive foul, so the next foul will then put the Gold in the bonus if there is one over the next 36 seconds. And it looks like we have a wet spot on the floor, so we're going to take care of that before the final couple of possessions here in this first half. It will be Gold basketball out of bounds. Kenny Holmes, Chris Cromartie, Chuck McRoy, James Evans, and Taven Cummings. The 5 on the floor to finish out this first half. Holmes inbounding it right in front of the South Florida Gold bench into the hands of Chuck McRoy. McRoy crosses the timeline with 30 seconds on the clock, and he will be subsequently bumped by Jakeem Yates. So not only does Yates pick up his 3rd, the team picks up their 8th foul, and now McRoy will step to the line for the 1-and-1. And McRoy will knock down the first as Chuck McRoy moves into double figures tonight with 10.
One possession.
And McRoy knocks down both. The former University of North Florida forward as we have 22 seconds to go. So 2 possessions at most look to be on the horizon here to close out this first half. Cummings, Gilmore Cummings finds the man down low in Yates. And he steps on the end line. 13 seconds to go, South Florida Gold here. Trying to get something going. Under 10 seconds. McRoy crossing the timeline. 6 seconds to go. Playing a one-on-one here with Giovanni Ellis. To the dribble drive, the fadeaway, and he's blocked by Ellis. And it looks like Ellis, a little overzealous there, ends up traveling. And the goal will have the opportunity for one possession. 1.3 seconds is the official word from our referee. As we're resetting the clock here. 1.3 seconds on the game clock. That is enough for a catch and shoot for the South Florida Gold. 26-point lead to go. Holmes inbounding it from underneath the baseline. The inbound there to Cromartie. Nice effort, but he can't finish it at the completion of our first half. South Florida Gold 69. Steel City Yellow Jackets 43. We'll be back with second half action. You are watching South Florida Gold ABA action right here on YouTube. We are back in action here in Lake Worth, Florida. Trinity Christian Academy, second half set to get underway as the South Florida Gold enjoying a 26-point lead, 69-43 over the Steel City Yellow Jackets. Tough sledding in this first half for the Yellow Jackets, of course, losing forward Claude Scott Jr. to an apparent dislocated elbow. He's going to a local medical facility. Hopefully we can give you an update before we go off the air here tonight in Lake Worth. Due to his condition. And a nice job right there by Gerald Brooks slashing through the lane. He now has 8. Starting off things on the right. And right back the other way, Taven Cummings, who now moves into double figures as he has 11. The 5 for the gold, Kenny Holmes, Chuck McRoy, James Evans, Chris Cromartie, and Taven Cummings. Agbana for 3. Johnny Agbana, his second triple of the ball game, the starter, not getting too involved on the offensive end. As Cromartie goes up strong, and an offensive foul on Chris Cromartie. That's his 3rd. Ball game starting things out here in this 3rd quarter for the Steel City Yellow Jackets. Number 5 is John Agbana. Number 7, Gerald Brooks. Number 2, Gilmore Cummings. And the man in the middle, number 32, Jakeem Yates. Brooks has it at the top of the key, the dribble drive. He's going to take it right in, kicks it back out. Agbana. The up and under. Interesting move right there. Can't get it to go, and James Evans is bumped. And that's going to be on Agbana, his 2nd, team's 1st here in this 3rd. As it will be South Florida Gold basketball, as they're enjoying this 23-point lead, have been pushed throughout the duration here by Steel City. But the Yellow Jackets appear to be a bit much. And it's South Florida Gold right now. On the offensive end, Chris Cromartie. Give and go there from Chuck McRoy. Tries to find the flashy Kenny Holmes. Now finds Taven Cummings at the top of the key. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound knocked around into the hands of Chuck McRoy. McRoy now fading away. He's bumped. No call. And here comes Steel City. They have numbers. Tone Reddick kicks it back out. And that will be a foul on Taven Cummings. That's going to be his 1st, team 2nd. As Coach J.R. Gamble, none too pleased about that possession. As the inbound on the sideline for Steel City, it's out of bounds, a turnover. And it's Gold basketball knocked out of bounds here. And Kenny Holmes here. An errant pass stolen by Tone Reddick. Tone Reddick goes straight to the cup. And Tone Reddick now with 13 points. And a quick timeout for the South Florida Gold. They want a full timeout. The lead cut to 21, but again, J.R. Gamble none too pleased with what he's seen in the opening 2 minutes here in this 3rd quarter. So it is time for play to resume here. Gold basketball on the sideline. That's Cromartie with the inbound there to Chuck McRoy. And McRoy crosses the timeline there. Passes off to Kenny Holmes. And McRoy there, the dribble drive. And we're going the other way. Offensive foul on James Evans. That's going to be his second. And the South Florida Gold have quickly accumulated 3 fouls in this third quarter. As we are under 10 minutes to go now. Steel City trying to get something going on the offensive end. As Gilmore Cummings can't get it to go, and Taven Cummings going the other way. As he has 15 now, does Taven Cummings. Gilmore will pass it off there. And Gerald Brooks, the 3-point play. As James Evans will pick up his third. As Dennis Rumpf will check in. As Gerald Brooks, who has a dozen, rather 10 points now, looking to make it 11. And Brooks now has 11. The lead is cut to 20. Kenny Holmes now hands it off to Chuck McRoy. McRoy back to Rumpf. To Cromartie. Finds Holmes pop out from way downtown. Kaboom! And Kenny Holmes knocks down the triple as he has been really leading the way tonight. 18 points for Kenny Holmes. The rebound by Dennis Rumpf. We're going back the other way. Cromartie dumps it off to him. Rumpf can't finish. Nice look there from Cromartie. Gilmore Cummings passes it up to Agbana for 3. Johnny Agbana off the mark and knocked out of bounds by Tone Reddick. 8:48 to go here in the third quarter. South Florida Gold starting to push it. Kenny Holmes off the glass and in, and Kenny Holmes now, the first player in this game to join the 20-point club. As Giovanni Ellis getting ready to check in. Gilmore Cummings off the mark for 3, rebounded by Taven Cummings. Into the hands of Chris Cromartie, the Fayetteville, North Carolina native, trying to break down Cummings off the dribble. Cromartie, of course, has also played in France and Finland as well, in addition to collegiately at Alabama State. And Taven Cummings knocks down the jumper yet again, as he's been a big piece thus far on this campaign for the South Florida Gold. As we now tick under 8 minutes to play. Nice look by Agbana to Cummings. And Rumpf commits the foul. And that's going to be 2 on Dennis Rumpf. Team's 5th. 7:58 on the game clock, and we will take a timeout on the floor. South Florida Gold 80, Steel City Yellow Jackets 53. We'll be back in just a second. You are watching South Florida Gold ABA action right here on YouTube. So once again, 7:58 on the game clock, set to resume here in the third quarter. 27-point lead for the South Florida Gold. They've gone on a bit of a run here over the last minute or so. As Gilmore Cummings off the mark. He has 6 points thus far tonight, but has not been a huge contributor on the offensive end, as this team has been paced by Gerald Brooks, Tone Reddick, and Isaiah Prince. Cummings knocks that one down. He now has 7. And McRoy with the basketball in his hands at the top of the key. Back around to Kenny Holmes. Finds Taven Cummings. And Taven Cummings with a highlight reel throwdown eliciting a major reaction from the South Florida Gold bench. There's a 3-ball at the top of the key, or rather they're going to say it's 2 for Gerald Brooks, as he now has 13. The turnaround, Taven Cummings, that's off the mark, into the hands of Brooks, who's essentially been the backbone of the Steel City team all night long. The shot fake. And there's the 3-ball from Prince. As Prince has 14 now off the bench for the Yellow Jackets. Holmes pulls up from way deep, and Kenny Holmes starting to feel it. 23 points for Kenny Holmes. Prince, the shot fake. Passes it off there. The jumper off the mark from Gerald Brooks. 6:26 to go. Colvin, nice look down low to Holmes. Holmes tries to go up strong. He's bumped. And he's going to get a shot for 2 at the line. And that will be a foul on Ajania, third, team's second. As Kenny Holmes will step to the line for 2. And Kenny Holmes now with 24 points tonight. And that one rims out. So the lead is 27 for the Gold. E.J. Blackwell crosses the timeline. Finds a man at the top of the key in Ellis. Nearly stolen. Prince off the mark for 3. And that's going to be E.J. Blackwell's first, team's third. As Colvin now has it on the wing. Cross-court pass. Kenny Holmes misses the 3. The rebound by Rumpf. And they call a foul there on Giovanni Ellis. That's going to be his first, team's 4th. As we're over halfway now into this third quarter, is Rumpf will connect on that first free throw. He has 6. And the second one is good as well. Dumps it off right there. Nice outside defense by Chris Colvin. Back out there to the corner. That's Cummings off the mark. And that ball's nearly stolen into the hands of Taven Cummings. Back to Kenny Holmes. He pulls it out. 5:25 on the game clock. Chris Colvin has it on the wing. McRoy at the top of the key. Back around to Colvin. Man-to-man defense here by the Steel City Yellow Jackets. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Colvin, the dribble drive. Tries to take it right to the cup. And he will be bumped by Isaiah Prince. And a bailout right there for the South Florida Gold. That's going to be the team's 5th. And a substitution here for the South Florida Gold for the first time in this ball game. Raja Orlando, the 5'10", Freeport, Bahamas native, played at Broward College here locally. Comes in for Chuck McRoy. Finds Taven Cummings on the inbounds. Cummings, the handoff there to Orlando. Orlando's pressured. He finds a man in the corner. Kenny Holmes, the runner. Off the mark. going to be a foul again on Prince, his second, team sixth. Excuse me, they're actually going to say that is 7.
I have 6, but she's saying 7. It's not 8. No, it's not 8.
And that one is good by Kenny Holmes. Substitution there. Jakimi Yates into the ball game for Gerald Brooks for the Yellow Jackets. And Holmes off the mark there with the second. 25 points for Kenny Holmes. There's the jumper. That's off the mark for Giovanni Ellis into the hands of Jakeem Yates. Nice offensive rebound. The drop step off the mark. And that's going to be a foul on Raja Orlando, his first, team's 6th. Blackwell off the mark. Offensive rebound. There's Prince. And Prince locks and loads for 2. Isaiah Prince. 16 points tonight. Off the bench. Nice job by him to contribute on the offensive end. Kenny Holmes tries the fadeaway. You heard that one. Smacks him right on the arm. And that's going to be Blackwell's second. As the Gold are in the bonus. 1-1, or rather a 2-shot foul for Kenny Holmes. Holmes knocks it down. And he's off the mark here. Defensive rebound by Giovanni Ellis. And there's a steal by Kenny Holmes. Kenny Holmes, the alley-oop. And David Cummings can't finish the highlight reel play. Here we go, in transition for 3. And there's Prince off the mark. And Orlando can't corral it. Eventually into the hands of Dennis Rumpf. Raja Orlando, and he's picked off in midcourt by Isaiah Prince. Prince pulls up for 3. Back to Rumpf. Here we go the other way. Chris Colvin back to Rumpf. Little give and go. Kenny Holmes off the glass, and Kenny Holmes will finish right there as he's approaching 30 points tonight. The Gold 8 points away from triple figures. 3:45 on the game clock. Nice cut down the lane. And Jakeem Yates with a fantastic finish. One of the best offensive possessions of the game for the Steel City Yellow Jackets. Colvin, the dribble drive, goes up strong. Thought he was bumped, but Rumpf, the weak side rebound, as Dennis Rumpf now at 9, contributing off the bench for the Gold. Up strong, and that will Blackwell. As Orlando will pick up another foul. And it looks like we could be getting close to the bonus. But nonetheless, 3:09 on the game clock, 94-63 South Florida Gold. We'll take a timeout on the floor. You are watching Saturday night ABA action right here on YouTube. So as EJ Blackwell looks to complete the three-point play. He knocks it down as EJ Blackwell now into the scores column. The lead is 33:05 on the game clock as Raja Orlando has committed 3 fouls in the last couple of minutes. Of course, that one will not count. Down as he has 18 now on the game. Make that 19. Belong with Kenny Holmes leading the way for the South Florida Gold here tonight. As the Gold 3 points away from 100. Nearly a half-court violation right there against the Steel City Yellow Jackets. Finds Yates down low. He goes up strong, can't complete the play. The rebound to Cromartie. Here we go in transition. Finds Cummings there in the corner, back to Cromartie. Drops it down low to Rumph. And he will be bumped by Yates. As that will be his 4th. As the team now 1 away from the double bonus. And Rumph back rims that one. As Dennis Rumph here looking to move into double figures with the completion of this free throw. And Dennis Rumph now has 10 points off the bench. As EJ Blackwell pulls up for 3, that's off the mark, and here we go the other way. Chris Colvin in transition. Colvin, the spin move, dumps it off to Rumph, goes up strong, gets tangled up with Yates. And that's going to be on Giovanni Ellis' second. And now the Gold should be in the double bonus. As Rumph looks to extend his totals here as he steps to the line, as he knocks the first one down, and for the first time in this ball game, Matthew Roll, the 6'7" Miami Gardens Florida forward, played at Florida Memorial University. We'll check into the ball game. Roll, a new addition to the Gold here in the 2018-2019 campaign, as his depth will be looked upon as the season moves on. As there's a bucket for Ellis. And Dennis Rumph knocks down the J. As thought that might have been a walk there by Ellis. Nonetheless, it's going to be on Matthew Roll. That should be a bonus situation. And that first one is off the mark. And the second one is good as well. Or rather, second one goes down for Giovanni Ellis. He now has 6. Excuse me, 7 on tonight's campaign. Cromartie has it in the corner. The dribble drive. Tries to find Colvin Cutting. Back around the roll. Swings it around here. Nice ball movement here by the South Florida Gold. Chris Colvin in the corner for 3. Kaboom! And Chris Colvin now at 9. Rump comes up with the basketball. Knocked around. Cromartie to Cummings to roll. Nice finish by Matthew Roll. First column. As McKenna goes up strong, and he's going to get bumped. And Matthew Roll quickly picks up his second foul. With 37.3 on the game clock, it's a 40-point lead for the Gold. And Matt bucket, first point rather. And for the first time in this game, Javid Smith, 6'3" guard out of Stockbridge, Georgia, comes into the game, gives Chris Cromartie a quick breather. That's off the mark. Rumpf gets the defensive rebound. And Colvin will cross the timeline. 30 seconds to go. Colvin pulls it back out. Looks for the on-ball screen from Rumpf. He rolls to the hoop to no avail. Cromartie dumps it off. And Smith there can't corral it. And there will be a foul called. I do believe that's going to be on Javin Smith. Three from the line. Make that 3 for 4 from Matt McKenna. As the lead is 37, and this should be the final possession of the third quarter. Crossover dribble, Chris Colvin, the fancy moves, and Javin Smith gets bumped. And Javin Smith will get into the scorers column. And there is the second. So 4.1 seconds to go. Trying to get something to go. McKenna's got it, crosses the timeline. He's got to let it fly. And a buzzer beater play. Nice look there to Tone Reddick. So the Yellow Jackets will end the third quarter on a positive note, but at the completion of 3 quarters, the South Florida Gold 109, the Steel City Yellow Jackets 72. We'll be back in just a second with fourth quarter action. You are watching South Florida Gold Saturday night ABA action right here on YouTube.
You got it up here first? You're good. It's up here. 109.72. No, what do you have? 104? 104.72, what do you have over here? 109? Tell her what she's missing over there, please, if you can. She's missing 5 points. Put it in there, go ahead. 106, now you're missing 3. 109. That's a 3. That's what you had. Yeah, that's all. You're good? We're good. Here we go.
Reset the clock. Hold on.
As we are set to begin the fourth quarter here, the South Florida Gold will inbound the basketball at half court. Chris Cromartie, Matthew Roll, Chris Colvin, Dennis Rumpf, and Javin Smith are the 5 for the Gold here to start off this fourth quarter. As Colvin pulls up from about 15, that's off the mark. Nice rebound with authority by Tone Reddick. Reddick, here we go in transition. McKenna, the shot fake, the dribble drive. McKenna knifes through the lane. Back out to Cummings. And Gilmore Cummings off the mark into the hands of Dennis Rumpf. Chris Cromartie, the alley-oop. Can't get it to go. Gilmore Cummings pulls down the ball. McKenna's got it in transition. Starting to move at a pretty quick pace here. Finds the man knifing through the lane in Jakeem Yates. And the finish there for Giovanni Ellis. As Cromartie looks for the man in Matthew Roll. Down on the block. And the clear out by Matthew Roll. And that's quickly his 3rd foul in very limited minutes here late in the second half. McKenna goes right to the cup. He can't finish. Rumpf gets the rebound. Dennis Rumpf approaching a double-double. Chris Cromartie loses control of the basketball. Into the hands of Matthew Roll. Chris Colvin from way downtown. And that ball is knocked out of bounds. And this ball will be inbounded here on the baseline. So 10:25 on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock. Inbounded here by Cromartie to Matthew Roll. The shot fake there, but Javin Smith in the corner. Trying to knock it down. Cromartie there, the offensive rebound, right back to Matthew Roll. And he will finish. And that will be the 5th on Gerald Brooks. He's 1 away from ejection. And Brooks, with 13 points, has been essentially the backbone of the visiting Yellow Jackets. And Roll completes the 3-point play. He has 5. As Matt McKenna in there along with Gerald Brooks, Tone Reddick. And Giovanni Ellis, that's the 5 for Steel City. Under 10 minutes to go here. Reddick goes up strong. They're going to count the hoop. Reddick will score. The foul is going to be on Colvin. That's his first, team's second. And Tone Reddick will complete the 3-point play. 16 points for Tone Reddick in this ball game. Finds Roll down low, the up and under. Matthew Roll asserting himself here in this second half. 37-point lead for the South Florida Gold. Coach J.R. Gamble all sorts of fired up here. There's an extremely deep 3 ball off the mark by Reddick, and a traveling violation against Giovanni Ellis. And we've got an inbounds here, looks like at half court, 9:32 to go. So Colvin now has it, pressured by McKenna. Nice help side defense there, and that will be 6 on Gerald Brooks. As Gerald Brooks, unfortunately, will have to hit the showers a bit early. And Deontay Jackson, for the first time, will set to check in. Rumpf takes it right to the cup. Hits the rim, can't get it to go. Nice job by Rumpf, gets his own rebound, goes up strong. And that's going to be on Reddick. And Rumpf will get 2 shots at the charity stripe. Did he make that? As Rumpf is good on the first. As Deontay Jackson now checks in for Gerald Brooks, who is fouled out. And Rumpf will knock the second down. And Cromartie here will knock this one down. And that one's off the mark. As the lead is 40 with 9:12 to go. Rumpf back to Cromartie from way deep. Roll, the offensive rebound and putback. And Matthew Roll, 9 points off the bench. As here comes Javin Smith. To Roll, goes up strong. Smith, the offensive rebound. And everyone's joining the fun here tonight for the South Florida Gold. Cummings finds a man in the corner. And Deontay Jackson knocks down the 2. As Ajani Agbana getting ready to check back in. 41-point lead for the Gold as Rumpf, found by Cromartie, who's been extremely on point tonight, passing the basketball. As Roll picks up his 4th, just like that. Under 8 minutes now in the corner. Tone Reddick from way deep. $19 points for Tone Reddick in this ball game. And with 7:47 to go in this ball game, the South Florida Gold enjoying a huge lead of 123-83. We'll be back in just a second with more 4th quarter action right here on YouTube. There's the inbound, Chris Colvin. Has the basketball, and there's a moving screen by Denzel Hussein, who has just checked into the ball game for the first time. Hussein out of the Bronx in New York City, also played for the University of Buffalo. Of course, Buffalo, a huge upset last year in the NCAA tournament as a 13 seed, knocking off number 4 Arizona, and is quickly skyrocketed up the rankings this year in the top 25, led by C.J. Massenberg. And there's a nice handoff right there as Tone Reddick will complete the offensive possession. As Cromartie finds Rumpf at the top of the key, the shot fake. Rumpf swings it back around to Colvin. Man-to-man defense here by the Yellow Jackets. Colvin tries to pass it back to Hussein, and that one is stolen. Here comes Cummings, and Gilmore Cummings is blocked, but it will stay right here. Nice defense by Dennis Rumpf.
You got one, Bill.
The inbounds. And the bucket is stuck by Giovanni Ellis, who now has 11. Rumpf back to Cromartie from super deep. Tries the lob down low, and that one will be stolen. Here we go the other way by Ellis. Right to Agbana for 3. Can't get it to go. Colvin has the basketball in his hands. He crosses the timeline. Chris Colvin out of control, and he will be bumped. And with 6:34 in the game clock, we have a foul. Agbana now gets the technical and the personal, so he has 5. As this has been a wild game, from the injury to Claude Scott Jr. to multiple fouls and discrepancies and now technicals. So as Chris Colvin is shooting the technical free throws here, the officials trying to restore some order. And Colvin now moves into double figures with that free throw make and has 11 with that one. Substitution here for the South Florida Gold, mass substitution. So the South Florida Gold now, Taven Cummings, Chris Cromartie, Chuck McRoy, James Evans, and Kenny Holmes will be the 5 on the floor as there's 6:34 to go. And Cromartie pulls up from super deep. That hits the rim into the hands of Cummings for 3. In and out. The offensive rebound by Kenny Holmes as he continues to do it all night long. 30 points for Kenny Holmes. Holmes goes up strong and he is fouled. Deontay Jackson picks up his first there. .30 points for Kenny Holmes again. Let's see if he can extend it to 31. Possibly on the second free throw. As Chris Colvin will check back into the ball game here for Chris Cromartie. As Holmes knocks this one down. And it will stay here with Steel City. Ball's out of control here, into the hands of Agbana. Dumps it right off, and Tone Reddick. Great game for Steel City. Cummings in the corner. Taven Cummings tries a shot fake. Finds McRoy there. Kicks it back out. Kenny Holmes for three. That's off the mark. Nice rebound by Tone Reddick. 5:25 on the game clock. He finds Giovanni Ellis. Crosses the timeline. Dumps it off to his man. In the hands of Agbana. That's off the mark. James Evans with the defensive rebound. And now he's going to take it all the way. And Deontay Jackson there with the foul. That's the team's fifth. And it looks like we're going to have some shots. As James Evans will step to the line. And Evans will hit the first. And he's off the mark on the rebound into the hands of Tone Reddick. Back up to Gilmore Cummings. That's off the mark, but in the hands of Agbana. He's got the three. McRoy corrals the defensive rebound eventually amongst the traffic. McRoy finds Holmes. Holmes tries a cross-court pass. Same team, miscommunication between Cummings and McRoy. Up to Tone Reddick for deep. Can't get it to go. Taven Cummings now. He's got it. Going back the other direction. And Taven Cummings loses control. And Chris Colvin can't get it as it touches the end line. This ball's out of bounds. Full court pass there to Tone Reddick. Back around to Deontay Jackson. And Deontay Jackson now for points. 4:17 on the clock, 40-point lead. McRoy back around to Colvin. As you think at this point the Gold will want to milk as much clock as possible. Back to Evans, back to Cummings. He goes up strong with the right hand as the southpaw gets it done again. As Reddick stripped by Colvin. And with 3:53 on the game clock, we're going to take a timeout on the floor. South Florida Gold 133, Steel City Yellow Jackets 91. Saturday Night Basketball right here on YouTube.
Here we go. Bring him in, let's go.
So we'll be Steel City basketball on the end line. Gilmore Cummings the inbound to Agbana, off the hands of Giovanni. And it's South Florida Gold basketball. Kenny Holmes finds a streaking James Evans, goes up strong, and he's going to be bumped by Ellis. That's going to be his third. And Evans will have 2 shots. As that one is good by Evans. As checking back into the game, Javin Smith for Tevin Cummings. $14 for James Evans. Make that 15. That's the hard foul. So Mike is trying to finish things out here on a positive note, as Javin Smith will knock down the first. He now has 5 points. Make that 6. The Stockbridge, Georgia native. As the Gold now up 46 points in this game, as Steel City really is giving them a run for their money for the majority of it, but in this second half here, specifically this fourth quarter, it's just been too much to overcome. McKenna from about 15. Now make that 5. His first field goal of the game. As Kenny Holmes crosses the timeline, he pulls up from way deep, and Kenny Holmes feels the flow as he knocks it down right there. Kenny Holmes. As Denzel Hussein will pick up his second. As he front rims that one. As that one be front rimmed, rebounded by Chuck McRoy. Dane, as Denzel Hussein, his first bucket of the game. Two and a half minutes to go. The dump down to McKenna. McKenna takes it up strong. McKenna off the glass and in. 7 points in this game, including 3 of 4 from the line. McRoy from the top of the key, and Chuck McRoy adding to his totals as he has 14 tonight. As we are now under 2 minutes to play. McRoy, the defensive rebound. Savage up to Orlando. Orlando, the dribble drive, goes up strong, and the whistle is blown. And that's going to be a foul on Deontay Jackson, his third. I believe that's going to be the team's 7th, but it is a 2-shot foul nonetheless. As Raja Orlando, now his first points of the game as he joins the scorers column. And Orlando knocks down the second. Crosses the timeline, does Jackson. Stolen by Raja instead. And Raja on the 3 ball. A reaction from the Gold bench. That one's off the mark. Into the hands of Savage. Up there. And that's thrown down by Javin Smith. Comes off the bench, provides a little spark. Quickly gets 8 as the lead is 57. As McKenna crosses the timeline here. Officially a minute to play as he's going to be Denzel Hussein. Hussein's third. And McKenna is off the mark on the first. As over the next handed off to McRoy. 50 seconds to go. Nice give and go to Raja Orlando. Orlando. 7 big points here in the last couple of minutes. As we're under 40 seconds to go. Gilmore Cummings with the basket. .30 seconds to go. 12 on the shot clock. The dribble drive. He kicks it back out. Giovanni Ellis from way deep. That's off the mark. And it's Gold basketball with 23 seconds to go. And that should do it right here from Lake Worth as Smith finds Hussein there in the corner. Kicks it back out. And Mike McKenna a whistle. And the South Florida Gold will improve to 4-0 with this big win, 154-96 over the Steel City Yellow Jackets. So once again, a great effort for the Gold as we are moving almost to the 2019 portion of the calendar as the South Florida Gold look to turn things up and improve upon that third place finish as they have a chip on their shoulder and revenge on their mind as they want all of the championship. So folks, once again here from Lake Worth, Florida, your final score, 154-96. South Florida Gold knocking off the Steel City Yellow Jackets. For the South Florida Gold, I am Blake Chadwick. We will see you next time right here watching South Florida Gold basketball on YouTube. All right, the game is officially over here in Lake Worth, Florida. 154-96 victory for the South Florida Gold. Chris Cromartie, only 7 points in tonight's game, but how were you able to lead your team to victory yet again?
This year we have a lot of killers on our team. So right now we're just working on getting that chemistry and that brotherly love. And I have to take the route of just being the floor general. I like to pass the ball anyway. So most of the time my points don't matter. I play when we need it. That's easy for us. 50-point win. Assist, that's all we're trying to do.
We saw the depth on full display here tonight, and we've always seen you traditionally with those fancy passes, but tonight they were certainly working at a high level. What are you looking for when you're in transition, moving down the floor? You see those guys filling the lanes. What is going through your mind when you're able to set up the play?
Always being instilled that the first open man get the ball, but just like I say, we're working on actually with our team is understanding that if you keep running that, eventually you're going to be finding open, wide open. So that's pretty much what we're looking for. I'm looking for the open man. I like when 2 or 3 people cut in the scene so I can actually show off my passes.
Absolutely. So the Gold remain undefeated here on the 2018-2019 campaign. Still a lot of big games left to come. Which ones are you circling on the calendar as you make your push towards the playoffs?
Right now, to be honest with you, we just focus on ourselves. Not necessarily worry about nobody else. We're just trying to make sure that we don't converse within each other. We want to get stronger and actually create a brotherhood so we can actually turn this South Florida Gold into a dynasty.
Absolutely. You heard it right there from starting point guard Chris Cromartie. Only 7 points tonight, numerous assists, a lot of rebounds as well. Close to that triple-double, but he certainly leads the way yet again as the South Florida Gold pull out another huge victory. So also now standing by here, another teammate here for the South Florida Gold, Dennis Rumpf, coming off the bench tonight, but contributed 18 big points, free throws, jump shots, whatever they needed. Dennis Rumpf, you got it done tonight. Coming off the bench, what was your mindset heading into tonight's game?
Coach just told me just to bring energy. He just been preaching in practice about this, just bring energy and everything else.
Dennis, sometimes we see you knock it down from the outside. Sometimes you take it onto the inside. In this game tonight, a team with a lot of depth. They have some size as well. What was your game plan personally against Steel City?
Just take whatever they give me. If it's an open shot, I take it. If it's in the post, do whatever it takes to help my team win.
And you take a look at the South Florida Gold, someone like yourself who could start for many teams in the ABA. What does Coach J.R. Gamble say to get you guys to buy into the system, for someone like you to come off the bench but still be a big contributor to this team?
He challenges every day. We all know that we all go play at some moment of time. And like I said, when you get in, bring your energy, play as hard as you can. And like you said, the stuff will come.
Absolutely. So once again, a 154-96 victory for the South Florida Gold. They remain undefeated. Dennis Rumpf contributing 18 points. Look for him to be a big factor for the South Florida Gold moving forward here in the 2018-2019 season.
Nice seeing you.
Good stuff, man. You too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you, young lady. I gave you a hard time. I'm just a jokester. Thank you for it.
Mic check, mic check, check, mic check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. How great is our God? Sing with me. Oh, I get a mic in my hand. I got stuff to do with it.
Hey, you never know what happens when we're live, and that's exactly what we are right here. Head coach J.R. Gamble, very excited after his team's 154-96 victory over the Steel City Yellow Jackets. Coach tonight had it all. We saw injuries. We saw technical fouls. We saw it get a little chippy. What do you think after this big victory? Because normally when you beat a team by nearly 60 points, you're probably a little bit more excited as a head coach.
Well, first of all, I'm proud of my guys. They played hard. They executed the defensive challenge that I gave them. I didn't like some of the flaky stuff, but it happens at the end of the game when you're up big and you kind of stop playing a little bit. But I'm proud of my guys. They executed. They played together. You saw the ball move. They shared it. And the last time we talked, how much can we improve from week to week, from game to game?
And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. The South Florida Gold continue to build each and every time they're out there. But, Coach, that's a great point. A lot of the time, South Florida Gold, they're winning games by 30, 40, even 50 or more points. How do you get them to play that full 48 minutes?
Well, the conversation has to be, what is positioning us to win a championship? It's not staring at the scoreboard, oh, we've done this, we've done that. Respect to Steel City. They got a great team.
Certainly.
They're going to be prepared for the next time they play us. But we're playing against ourselves in our minds. What do we need to do to execute at a level where we can compete at the top of the league for a championship? So the challenge has to be inwardly. How can we not worry about the score and compete every possession?
And, Coach, something we saw tonight, the depth on full display. You really had a balanced attack, spread the basketball around, led by Kenny Holmes with 34 points. Dennis Rumpf contributes 18. James Evans contributed. Matthew Roll even contributing off the bench there. How do you get these guys all to buy into the system and play that evenly matched basketball throughout that entire game?
I'll be honest with you. That's one of the toughest things when it comes down
Certainly.
to playing basketball with guys that can play, have talent, but you got 12 guys that's talented. So as a coach, you know, you try to give guys opportunities, and the guys got to just be okay with their teammate doing well for that particular night, or not playing as many minutes as they want, but the team did well. We try to highlight what our team is doing, and so now they're starting to realize it's okay for me to ask to come out of the game when I'm winded, because my teammate is coming in the game, he's going to give the same effort, and it's about us as a whole. And when we see more of that mentality, you're going to see more games like this in favor of the Gold.
That next man up mentality has proven to be very fruitful for the South Florida Gold. And Coach, I asked Chris Cromartie this. He talked about it being all about the South Florida Gold. But moving forward here, we're now in December. We're moving towards that 2019 portion of the schedule. Are there any games you're circling on the regular season before we head to the playoffs that the Gold really need to look at as tests?
Absolutely. All of them. I'm an Alabama fan, Roll Tide.
Big
We
win
got it done
tonight.
Got it done. And I learned a lot from Nick Saban. Every game, every possession should be valued. And so, yes, there are certain games where people say we're looking forward to that, but if we play every game the way we should, we won't highlight one more than the other, which means you turn around and lose to a team you shouldn't lose to because you're not up for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, certainly that trap game mentality not present here with the South Florida Gold, and that's that winner's edge and the victor's edge you see each and every time out when it comes to the South Florida Gold. Coach J.R. Gamble, once again, an incredible effort, remains undefeated here in the 2018-2019 campaign. This team has a chip on their shoulder as they're ready to prove upon that third-place finish from last year in the ABA.
Absolutely.
Good work, Coach.
Thank you, man.
Game.
Appreciate it.